Overwatch Apex Season 2, energized by Hot 6, Round Robin. Today's matchup, MVP Infinity, Meta Athena.
Hello and welcome to OGN Apex Season 2. I'm Doe. With me, as always, is Monte Cristo. And man, good set of matches tonight. Going to be very cool. MVP of Infinity versus Meta Athena. MVP Infinity has the hardest name to say in Overwatch, by the way. Bet you didn't know that, Monte Cristo.
We'll just call them MVP like we do in every other game, Doe. It's okay.
Sounds fine with me. And then Luxury Watch Blue taking on Lunatic High. It's going to be an awesome set of best of fives tonight. Can't wait to get started. In fact, just take the camera off us right now. Just go into the games.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Plus, I mean, especially our second set. Yes, these teams have been rocked a little bit by scandals at our second set.
It's the Scandal Bowl.
It is the Scandal
Bowl. In our second
Bowl
best
tonight.
of five. That's what we're calling
unfortunately.
it. Yeah.
But it is a rematch of the IEM Gyeonggi finals, so that's going to be really exciting. And I mean,
no, man. That was LW Red.
Oh, it's LW Red.
Totally different team.
Except it was actually exactly
the
same roster.
Same players. Yeah, they just were red. Now they're blue. Yeah.
It
was purple, whatever.
They were purple at the time, but yeah, it was at the time LW Red, but it was 5 members of LW Blue, and Nanohana, who is on Red, who is renamed to Flower, so he will be back tonight. But really exciting to see that, especially because we get to see all these teams on the new patch. But that said, the first match is also going to be interesting because, again, new patch, but also these teams had some pretty strong showings in their initial matches, a bit surprisingly.
I agree. I mean, MVP Infinity actually took Envious to a pretty close 2-3 match. Envious did end up winning that one, but Infinity certainly made a show of it. You kind of wonder how much of that was, Envious maybe having just gotten to Korea, hadn't been as practiced as we normally see them, and how much of it was MVP Infinity being good. But that said, Infinity, I think they've got a lot of good coordination, good ult management, and they have a lot of really unique angles that they approach different points on in different maps. So I'm excited to see these guys play again. I think they could be pretty good.
Yeah, like you're saying, it does come with the asterisk that Envy was playing pretty poorly. They came in, had to play in Korea immediately after not really having practiced for a while due to the continual visa issues that I hope are all sorted out for them now. As they
visa issues everywhere.
Visa issues everywhere as they try and get those player visas to go to America. But yeah, MVP Infinity looking pretty strong. Meta Athena now. This is a team that we have to talk about, especially on this patch, because they're a team that has really been relying on 3 and 4 tank compositions. They're actually one of the few Korean teams that really did subscribe to 3-4 tank meta. So this patch may not be that kind to them, even though they did take that 3 over BK Stars to start things off.
Yeah, it is going to be really interesting because, like you mentioned, they did 3-0 BK Stars. That seems like a really good start, but BK Stars played surprisingly poorly compared to what we were kind of expecting from them. And like you said, it's a different meta now. So some of those earlier games we saw with these teams may not be really valid in terms of gauging their skill right now because things are changing. It's a lot more DPS centric of a meta these days. Now, thankfully, Meta Athena has a player named Saya player on their team who's extremely good. So they've got a great DPS player, and they also have Hoon, who's just a Zarya master. So they're in pretty good shape because Zarya is back a little bit. So we'll see how they do. But here's our groups anyway right now. You can see who's got wins and who's got losses. Every team has played one match so far.
But not every team has played on this particular patch.
That's right.
So we're going to see more of that. All of the Western teams have yet to play on this patch. We will see all of the Western teams again next week after they had that break playing those basically the first week of competition. And because this tournament, what's interesting to me, though, just to talk about the tournament format for a little bit here, is I've seen a lot of complaints that this tournament takes a long time to finish. And
oh, come on.
I think that's ridiculous because you get better games when you have time to actually prepare for your opponent. It's a different skill set than being able to go into a one-weekend tournament and just win, right? Because you don't have a lot of time to adapt, you don't have a lot of time to plan. But this is a different style of competition where planning for your specific opponent for 2 to 3 weeks is highly rewarded. So.
Yeah, well, things like your MLGs, like your BlizzCons and all that, those are more stamina tournaments. You know, can you keep up a high level of play without much preparation, you know, over a period of a few days? This, like you said, you get a ton of time to work out strategies and all that, and I like it because I feel like this kind of format provides more unique situations in games too, because you have teams really studying each other, really trying to outsmart each other. And MVP Infinity versus Meta Athena, our first match of the day, followed by Luxury Watch Blue versus Lunatic High. We mentioned it already, but it's on the screen, so there you go.
So there you go. I'm sure everybody's really hyped up about that second match, but this first match really, really does have a lot to offer, especially since MVP Infinity still trying to get out of that tough Group A after that loss. But, you know, a 2-3 loss doesn't mean a whole lot. Remember, map score is incredibly important to these teams moving forward. So even having that one extra map that they picked up, you know, they won Control, they won Assault. That looked like their stronger formats. Escort and Hybrid, we'll have to see if they can do better than they did against Envy today.
We'll see. I mean, this first match, I mean, to a certain extent, both of our best of fives today, but I think especially this first one, it's really hard to judge how the teams are going to play, both because of the new patch and also because of the condition their opponents were in their first matches in the tournament. So it's really hard to predict this one. I honestly, I wouldn't feel comfortable calling either one of these teams being a little bit better. I mean, I guess if you put a gun to my head, I'd maybe pick MVP Infinity by a little bit, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Again, just because of the patch, right?
Yeah.
Just because of the patch. And basically, like you say, Hoon's an amazing Zarya player, but
Yeah.
when I feel are more limited in the kinds of compositions that they're practiced and comfortable with, but maybe they'll defy expectations and bust out some good 2-2-2 comps today. We'll see a little bit more from them.
It's funny, Hoon actually in Korea has a nickname that's called Hoon Dokung, which is short for Hoon Ults Again, because he always has the Graviton Surge up on Zarya. Like, seriously, when you watch this guy, I don't know how he gets his ults so fast.
He plays very far forward, and I think that's what's interesting about Hoon, and is also, I think, abusable against Meta Athena, is that he walks very far forward, oftentimes in front of his tank, like his main tank player, just so he can get that charge up fast and deal a lot of damage. Obviously, his tracking has to be really good, but he often has more of a Zarya charge than other Zarya players. However, when you go that far forward, your backline is more exposed than it normally would be. So dive compositions, I think they could be quite weak too.
Sure. I mean, it's the other shields too, you know. I mean, getting the shield on the right person as well in his team. He's been very good about saving people that get hooked by Roadhog and all that too. But we'll keep an eye on him because, overextending is not something you can do, I think, against a team like MVP Infinity that seems to kind of have a strength in sort of team cohesion at a level that maybe some of the other teams in the tournament don't quite have.
Yeah, and BK Stars, I think, was really underwhelming, and I don't think is going to be one of the stronger teams this tournament for this season of Apex.
Which is too bad, because Bunny and Burner were a really, really good combo last year, but I feel like what we're seeing with BK Stars is kind of an evolution of the league and an evolution of the teams here in Korea overall, and BK Stars so far not really keeping up.
Well, it's one of those things where BK Stars was a stronger team at the beginning of Overwatch because they were really good, as you say, Bunny and Burner, with that Big Bang combo. But the game has really evolved to become significantly more complex as teams have grown and practiced. And I don't really think that BK Stars has evolved with as fast as the rest of the other teams.
Yeah, but I mean, you see this in like every sport, right? Where you have the teams that are dominant at first. Well, forget about that. Let's learn about MVP.
저는 더메타 팀의 딜러를 맡고 있는 리베로입니다.
저는 MVP 인피니티 팀에서 서브 탱커를 맡고 있는 와이낫이라고 합니다.
챌린저스에서 처음으로 올라와서 BK 팀을 상대를 했는데 승리를 거둬서 너무 기분이 좋습니다.
엠비어스 팀이 전년도 우승팀이고 세계 1위라는 타이틀이 있기 때문에 긴장을 좀 했었는데 생각보다는 할만했던 것 같습니다.
자, 폭탄까지 아프리케! 이겼는데요, 이거?
MVP 인피가 예전엔 약간 수비적이었는데 지금은 그 이지브로 선수가 들어오면서 공격적으로 된 것 같더라고요.
저희가 메타팀에게 챌린저스에서 2번 패배하고 승강전에서 1번 패배했는데 아무래도 훈 선수와 너스 선수가 제일 경계됩니다. 저희가 승강전 때 너스 선수의 수류탄이 다 터져버려서 그게 제일 무섭습니다.
특히 이지브로 선수가 겐지를 엄청 잘 다뤄서 이제 저희 힐러진이나 약간 탱커진이 흔들릴 수 있다고 생각해요.
저희가 워낙에 끈적끈적한 경기들을 많이 해서 쉽게 질지도 않을 것 같고 쉽게 이기지도 못할 것 같아요.
MVP 인피니티를 왜 그렇게 끝까지 다들 거부했는지 이유가 증명이 됐습니다.
단단해도 정말 너무 단단한 걸 볼 수가 있었어요.
이제 운영이라든지 약간 그 다져진 느낌이 저희가 좀 더 한 수인 것 같아요.
이 더 메타의 장점, 리드미컬하다. 더 다져질 경우에는 충분히 우승까지 노려볼 수 있는 강팀이 아닌가라는 생각을 해봅니다.
저희가 팀원이 바뀌고 나서 맞춘 지 1, 2주 정도밖에 안 됐거든요. 근데 엠비어스 상대로 이 정도라면 메타팀은 별거 아닐 것 같습니다.
뭐 1위도 해볼 만할 것 같아요.
All right, well, there you have it. The stage is set. Meta Athena taking on MVP Infinity. And it's going to be interesting, too, because we saw Libero speak in that video as well, and he played more D.Va than anything at all in their first match today. He played a little bit of Reaper, but he played mostly D.Va. And the new meta that we're in, the new patch that they're in, D.Va's effectiveness has gone down by quite a lot. So Libero specifically is going to need to change his hero picks a lot today, I think, going into it.
Yeah, absolutely. But looking at MVP Infinity, I mean, Easy Bro had such a great series against Envy.
Oh, yeah.
In the last one, we saw some highlights of his McCree play there. But what impressed me the most about MVP Infinity is that they're not a stubborn team. They don't stick to hero selections if they're not working. They're very quick to read an enemy composition and try and pull out a counter. And I think a lot of teams get, they get stubborn. They want to use that ult charge that they have, and they're a little bit slower to react. But MVP's, I think, in-game tactical decisions and their shot calling has been quite good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We mentioned that, and also it's fun to watch where these guys kind of approach different points from, because they don't often take the same paths we see a lot of other pro teams taking. Now, that's going to get figured out after a while, but this is still the second match in the league. You know, you got to imagine they've still got some surprises left for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. On the other side of the arena, a team formerly known as the Meta. Now they're just simply known as Meta Athena. Athena, I guess, is a computer in Winston's Gibraltar lab in Overwatch.
See,
so
you think
just
about
add that on
that,
there.
I just think she's, the Greek goddess of wisdom.
Yeah, that too, maybe. Who knows?
Springing fully formed from Zeus's head.
Yeah, right out of his skull. That had to hurt.
Yeah.
Poor Zeus.
Too bad there wasn't a meta Zeus team for them to spring from, but
well, maybe if they get a sister team at some point, it'll be Meta Zeus. No, it'll probably just be Meta Blue or something.
we need more blue and red.
Just
teams.
name your teams red and blue. Yeah, it's
every time.
The Korea way, I guess. Well, there's Meta Athena. Saya player, really the star of this team so far. Just incredibly good player overall. Showed us a lot of good Tracer player, even out-tracering Bunny, I think, in their last match against BK Stars, which is not something you see happen to Bunny very often.
Yeah, which is interesting. On Meta Athena, when we just look at their star DPS players, Saya player is pretty much a dedicated hit scan. Tracer, Roadhog, McCree, Widowmaker. But Easy Bro has impressed me because he's actually had a lot of diversity playing McCree well, but also most of his time has been on Genji, and that's a combination of heroes that you don't frequently see the same player running.
Plays a Roadhog himself too, but
yep.
I mean, there's no rule that says you have to be hit scanner, you have to be projectile. You can pick and choose if you want.
Of course. It's just sometimes difficult to train yourself to switch very quickly and competently in terms of muscle memory between projectile and hit scan. That
is very true. Well, let's check out some stats. Most picked by player. Don't hate the player, though. Hate the meta? Not Meta Athena? I don't know. Can't really hate the meta right now. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I like it.
It is.
I love the meta.
The meta has been wonderful. And as you can see, Meta Athena there, going with that triple tank, plus the Tracer for a Saya player, as their most played heroes.
Like we said, though, we're going to see some changes. Though Libero, probably not going to have D.Va on the top of that list for him after today. You can still play D.Va. It's not like she's useless right now, but it's just there's a lot of other good picks besides her at this time, like Zarya.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, exciting. I'm just ready to get in the game, Noah.
Same here. I'm done talking. I want to watch the game. We'll talk about the game. That's it.
That is it, indeed.
Yep. We ran out of material.
That's it.
We got to go to the games. All right. Today's Battleground. And, we have 4 control maps to pick from, and it's going to be Ilios, because why not?
Hey,
because it's always Ilios. We had Oasis last week.
Earlier this week we had 2 games on Oasis, though, and not just one. It was exciting to see that map start to hit the professional scene a little bit more. Interesting that there were still a lot of crowd control and tank-heavy compositions used on Ilios, particularly on that University choke point where be very difficult to get to that point quickly, especially if there's a Graviton Surge or other forms of CC blocking your way.
Yep. So as you well know, OGN picks a control map, and then from here on out,
By pick, you mean randomly select.
That's right. Yep, they randomly select the control map out of the 4 that are available, and then after that, the loser gets to pick the next one out of the category available. But we're going to start things out on good old-fashioned Ilios. Appropriate for a team named Athena, I suppose.
That's right. They should have home field advantage here.
That's true.
Theoretically, in the ruins of ancient Greece.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see if it makes a difference. Meta Athena taking on MVP Infinity in our first best of 5 of the night. Let's get in the game and see who takes the lead. All right, welcome to Ilios. Welcome to the Ruins specifically, which again feels like the most appropriate place to start for a team named Athena.
You know, I think you would have known better in the future not to fight in priceless Greek
Seriously?
ruins. We kind of learned that in the past when the Parthenon got accidentally blown up when it was being used as a store for gunpowder.
See, that was the initial big oops. It's like, where do you want to put our gunpowder, guys? Well, I don't know. How about the 2,000-year-old temple? It's like, yeah, sure, nobody would bomb that. Yeah, it doesn't stand out or anything.
I think that was a war between Venice and the Ottoman Empire, if I recall correctly, where cannon, they shelled the building full of gunpowder, and they destroyed priceless artifacts.
Oopsie. Well, hindsight is 20/20. And here we go. Their face was red. Oh my. How embarrassing. Meta Athena versus MVP Infinity, and Meta Athena in the red, of course, and one fact going to work already on this Tracer. It was on this point, on this map, that he got his first kill in the league on Tracer, and it was himself.
That was pretty funny.
He blew himself up. It was not something we've ever seen before, but quite the stat. Points available now. We'll see who grabs it. Looks like Meta Athena on there as Easy Bro goes after Saya players on the McCree. Oh, but there's 3 shots that put Meta Athena solidly in control of that one.
Wow, great timing waiting for that reflect to be done.
Yeah.
And just tapping him right out of the sky. So really quick capture there. Now, I was going to say, again, it looks like MVP Infinity is in fact trying to abuse Hoon's positioning because they went for a pretty heavy dive comp. You know, Winston, Tracer, Genji. Seen a lot of that there.
Hoon Zarya.
Hoon Zarya sign.
Yep. It's like, thank you. Yes, that is the hero he prefers to play. Thank you, Captain Obvious sign. Easy Bro still trying to hunt down Saya player here. It's a bit of revenge now. You know how ninjas and cowboys are.
Is that how it goes? I thought it was
right.
Pirates and Ninjas going.
Oh, not anymore. This is 2017. Saya player's got the ult ready to use. Hoon looking for an option to Graviton Surge. He's got that nano boost. There we go, throwing it in. And where's the follow-up? They get a couple here.
They got everybody
I
eventually.
think that worked, yeah, okay. Well, a couple escaped. The supports got out, and Easy Bro made it too, but nobody's really able to contest that point, and Meta Athena up to about 50 control % already.
Yeah, MVP Infinity going to be coming back with a lot of ults, but Meta Athena has been very good about moving around the map so far as a tightly knit pack, so it hasn't been easy to get that dive functional into that backline yet. Don't see them standing too far away from each other as they back well off the point right now. Here comes the zoning ult.
And Noon, Saya player looking for a target. Probably not going to find anyone with this. You don't often expect to get it. Yep, just zoning, just buying a few more seconds. Has to take cover, do that Discord Orb. Transcendence is MVP, coming in hard with the Zenyatta ultimate. Easy Bro with the Genji Blade. Gets a couple already with that. And it's looking like a decent fight. Ooh, he does go down, though. Meta Athena trying to fight back as best they can, but Easy Bro fights Hoon right off the edge. And it looks like MVP Infinity is finally going to get some time rolling here on the point.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there from Meta Athena after several members, including Saya player, had gone down. Alpha sort of just wasted his Earth Shatter right at the end of that Dragon Blade. Would have been nice to have that. MVP Infinity, we saw them having some good ult management in their last match against Envy, and they're coming back again. They committed only 2 ultimates to that, so sitting on 4 right now, we could be easily going into basically back from 100% here to a possible win. Here we go.
Oh, Graviton Surge again comes in. They're going to go for the big bang, and what are they going to get? 2 for one fact right off the bat, and he got a lot of other members really low. Easy Bro picks up 1, and that's a pretty decimating team fight for MVP Infinity. They are going to hold this one for a while.
And again, only 2 ults used at Easy Bro, thanks to the Graviton Surge, and dashing through, gets his Dragon Blade nearly all the way back up right now. Beautifully done, as you see that replay. Huge hits right through the mob of Meta Athena players, and MVP Infinity is making a very strong comeback.
Here comes the Graviton Surge, though. Easy Bro has the Dragon Blade. There's Reflect trying to get something done with it. Oh, Undyne does get the kill into Libero. Side player, nice flashbang. Oh, but he gets bumped out of the way and can't land the headshot. Meanwhile, Breck going after a few other members. It's pretty even on the kills overall, but Breck with that Primal Rage, he's got the Nano Boost too. See if he can find some targets. Not really getting much of anything right now. Has to retreat for some heals. And Meta Athena looks like they're going to reclaim the point, and they've got 93% right now.
Yeah, great Graviton there, catching and really just destroying the use of the Dragon Blade from Easy Bro. Earthshatter going to come in. They're being proactive.
Yep. Meta Athena just trying to force a fight so they can get this point over with. Overtime ticking away, and it looks like that's going to be about it. Meta Athena takes Ruins.
Wow, that was a great first point to start this best of 5, Dilla. Really good coordination from both of the teams. A little bit slow starting out there, but you have to praise the positioning that we saw coming in from Meta Athena, because they just really didn't give that dive any chance to work because they stayed so closely grouped together. And we saw that commitment to the ultimates, but again, not quite enough. Hoon really turning things around at an old disadvantage there for a moment with that Graviton Surge.
Yep, that's kind of what you expect from Hoon, right? I mean, he's known for never missing one of those Zarya ults, always making it as effective as he can. If he ever does miss one, he has another one 30 seconds later, so it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, MVP Infinity really going to switch things up here on Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Not going for the dive composition anymore, going back to a Soldier and a Reinhardt here, so looking to be a little more long range and try and break through with some more poke instead of all-inning on the back line. Meta Athena once again going triple tank.
Yep, side player back on the Tracer once more. One fact, goes down pretty quick there. Kills on both sides. Meta Athena, though, maybe with a little bit of an edge, is why not already running for his life on that Zarya. He's not going to last too long. Easy Bro, though, fighting back on the Soldier 76, and MVP Infinity coming out ahead in that fight.
Yeah, a little bit.
Can they take the point, though?
Yeah, they're going to be able to turn this around. It looks like a little bit of an overextension there as they got pretty greedy about getting into that alleyway. Now we see the rest of MVP Infinity getting right back onto that point.
Yeah, Meta had to back off the players they had on the point. I think that was smart. They knew they had the respawns in, so better to back up and group up again rather than really stagger their spawns.
Yeah, but Saya player, pretty big overcommitment into that alleyway, easily gunned down by Easy Bro Soldier, and nice defense coming in, and there we have it. First Nano Boost, but it's not getting much.
Not much, and he's got no health left too. Nano Boost now thrown over onto Breck as well. But he's going to take a nap. MVP Infinity, meanwhile, just defending the point.
Wow, the engages here have not been the strongest for Meta Athena. A little bit over-eager on that Nano Boost before the Reinhardt Alpha could get into position, but
they're really struggling to handle Easy Bro right now in the Soldier 76. Nobody seems to be able to get back and kill him.
It's been a challenge. We go right back again. Earthshatter comes down.
Yeah, it's a pretty big Earthshatter. Meta Athena trying to make use of it. Breck does go down, do the Pulse Bomb. Saya player has that sound barrier. Looks like Meta Athena wins that fight easily, able to get a little bit of time going.
Undyne a little bit late there on the sound barrier, so counter sound barrier comes through, and now they're not going to have that defensive ult for any kind of retake here. Looks like they could go for a bigger bang, Meta Athena. As we see MVP approaching the points, see how split up they are. They don't want to get caught in a choke by that Graviton Surge. Going up top.
Yeah, Libero not worried to use that Diva. The new meta, why not? Gets caught in the Graviton Surge. They got to be careful. There's that bigger bang. And oh, he gets 3 with it. They couldn't quite get behind the doorway in time. And that's a pretty good fight for Meta Athena.
Yeah, absolutely. Man. Wow, and Hoon really just waited there for the Graviton Surge, wait for the Diva to fly up past him. And man, the setup was good, so
very
Meta Athena really doing some nice work.
Yeah.
MVP Infinity, got to make this next pressure work out. Not much to work with here in terms of ultimates for Meta.
Yeah, why not? Looping around the outside, drops the Graviton Surge versus a follow-up. They have a decent amount of damage in there, actually. Kills on both sides, though. MVP Infinity loses 4 of their members already, and looks like Meta Athena is just going to keep holding on.
Yeah,
just a team kill.
Yeah, they stacked the crowd control a little bit too much right there with the Earthshatter and the Graviton Surge, so didn't chain it end-to-end as much as they would like, and their damage follow-up simply wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, I think we're in for a very close match at this rate. It's starting to look like it.
Absolutely. So, let's see what happens when the Reinhardt shield breaking battle goes through.
There's one fact, nice grab onto Lucio. Oh, he couldn't quite get the kill though. It was an awkward angle at the end there. Meanwhile, Easy Bro picking up 2 with the tack visor already. Going after Saya player now, at least just zoning him out so MVP Infinity can try to retake the point, finally takes him down. And where? Okay, there we go. Yeah, D.Va just being a little bit annoying.
Right up to the top. And see how, nope, not going to try and drag out the D.Va spawn.
Yep.
As they are at 99%. So MVP Infinity looking to tie this one up. Not much time remaining.
Yeah, about 55% for MVP Infinity right now. Have to hold it for a little while, but they're not in the worst position ever to try to tie up this control map.
Athena has some nice options, though, in terms of patience. If they just take some of this soldier poke and heal up. Well, Alpha.
Did he just fly off there?
Yep, took somebody
so,
with him.
Yeah, he took Why Not with him. Saya player, meanwhile, has that pulse bomb, sticks it to Roadhog. One fact, not going down, though he had that nano boost. He's a little bit more durable than usual. Easy Bro now looping around the side. They've got the sound barrier to work with. Meanwhile, Athena drops the Graviton Surge, but again, Easy Bro in the back lines. Nobody's really handling this guy. And it looks like Athena may have taken that back there. They're trying to wait for the overtime to go, and that is going to be it. Athena will take Ilios.
That was a really disappointing pulse bomb, you have to say.
I was going to say, yeah.
But regardless, we're going to see the victory here. So 2-0, even though both of those points were quite close.
Yeah.
But man, you can't dump pulse bombs on a nano-boosted Roadhog like that. It wasn't like he had just gotten the nano boost either. He had been sitting on it for quite some time. It's only going to do 150 damage to a nearly full health Roadhog. So either poor target selection or just a mistake right there coming through. And might have thought the nano boost was going to fall off in time after the pulse bomb ticked down and exploded. Regardless, nice first map. And it looks like we're going to have a pretty even series on our hands, despite that being a 2-0. Either of those points could have gone either way.
Probably. And I mean, when you see the control map, you're kind of like, all right, well, that was a control map, right? Because most of the game isn't quite like control maps. You know, you can compare Assault to that in certain ways, but when the payload's involved, things can change pretty abruptly. So we'll see if MVP Infinity can tie things up in our hybrid map coming up next. We'll see what they select. They've got a choice between Mbani, King's Row, and Eichenwald.
I mean, my worry for MVP Infinity is that since they were the ones who actually won against Envy on those control and assault map, but they lost every hybrid and escort map coming through. Not to mention, they looked particularly bad on Gibraltar against Envy. So this is not going to be their strong suit from what we've seen so far.
And Mbani is going to be the choice.
I think Athena should be really confident. Winning that control really takes one of the weapons away from MVP Infinity, and they should feel pretty confident, I think, going into the rest of this series.
Yeah. That's a bit surprising. I mean, MVP Infinity looking a little bit sullen in the booth there, but I don't know. It just, they seem a lot rustier today than they looked in their last match against Envious.
I don't know. I think they had some nice moments, and their ult economy was still pretty strong, but we'll see what happens.
They had a strong start on Ruins, but after that, to me anyway, they looked a little bit scattered, a little bit uncoordinated.
Yeah.
Well, see if they can pick it up again here on Mbani as we see if MVP Infinity can tie things up or Athena jumps out to a 2-0 lead. Let's get in the game and find out. Welcome to Nimbani, where apparently donating to a museum is just about the most dangerous thing you can do.
Hey, it's a dangerous weapon that they're putting there on display. I don't know who would do that, by the way.
Put a dangerous weapon on display?
Yeah, just put a hugely dangerous weapon that...
I mean, we saw what happened when that kid grabbed it in the initial Overwatch
Why would you just
trailer.
put it in a glass case?
Yeah.
It's like anybody can just break it and take it and wreak havoc.
It's like any waif can put it on and knock a full-size adult across a room. Like, that's a problem.
Yeah, I think maybe you should destroy it. Actually, I think maybe that's what you should do.
Yeah, unless Doomfist himself returns to claim it, Monte Cristo.
But haven't there been like multiple Doomfists?
I don't know actually.
I think there have been. I think there's been 3 different ones. Doomfist is just the name that you have once you get
Well,
the gauntlet. So I guess that kid was Doomfist for a little.
You know, I mean, theoretically, Doomfist himself had 2 hands, so, you know, right away there's more than one Doomfist.
Well, but only one of his fists was Doom.
Oh, the other fist was just normal fist?
It was just fist.
It's like his less successful cousin, normal fist. It's like, I'd punch you, but it really smarts. Ow.
Well, Meta Athena, they've been pretty diligent about sticking to this triple tank setup. MVP Infinity probably going to switch up this Bastion. Nope, they're not. It's going to be attack Bastion.
Nice. I love it. All right, 1 fact on the Bastion. He's going to get spotted right away, though. And we'll see how this one goes. I think they're going to try to set him up behind the Reinhardt shield and fire down this corridor, maybe.
I mean, they have.
You can rush him onto the high ground sometimes. This is a strategy you used to see it, but you haven't seen it for a while.
I mean, against all the tanks, though, you'd think it's pretty good, but
Oh,
not
boy.
going to do much.
Well, you know, thumbs up to you, MVP Infinity. Good try. Way to be. You know, here's
Good
the
show.
thing.
Good show.
I haven't seen that for like 4 months or something at least, but yeah, you used to be able to just rush the Bastion right up there and unload, but
Well,
you know, especially if you're not anticipating your opponent playing like a Genji or something, it can work, but it's like you try it once, if it doesn't work, you gotta switch, and that's what they're doing.
I mean, I like the aggression that we saw from Meta Athena. They weren't having any of that, getting right in there at the top choke point. But the comp itself was interesting, right? You have a Zarya and a Reinhardt shield, and they had the Diva as well to try and just protect and prevent that damage from coming down.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Wow, Saya player and Undyne just destroys Easy Bro there, or Saya player and Nos rather.
Yeah, no, wow. I mean, that was very easily shut down. Now, they knew there was a soldier, so it's interesting to me that they would commit Easy Bro alone to pop up and try and get that kill. Okay, Nuss is just going to pretty terribly split spawn Undyne right there.
Oh, Meta Athena got, again, you know, really aggressive on the defense, and they hunted down people a little bit more aggressively than you see a lot of times. Made him pay for it, for sure.
Man, Meta Athena read that Bastion attack with so much protection for that Bastion so quickly. I'm very impressed with their decisiveness of their shot calling so far tonight.
Well, I mean, they had the right thing for it, right? They had the Winston, they had the Zarya shield. They had a lot of shields they could just throw it right on it. And speaking of shields, here's one fact, rolling in with the nano boost. A shield of sorts, I suppose. Meanwhile, Saya player posting up on the other side, having no trouble at all taking down Breck, and MVP Infinity just getting absolutely nowhere with these pushes.
I just don't know what their strategy is right now, because the only person who can actually get over to deal with one fact, like with the soldier right now, it's just like there's not a lot going on. Saya player is getting so much room just to shoot, and they need some sort of dive to actually take him off the far side of the point.
I'm gonna have to try something. Going in now. Meanwhile, Athena has a lot of ults to work with. They're going to use the Graviton Surge around with that sound barrier. Keeps that nano boosted Reinhardt from causing any trouble. Already 2 kills for Meta Athena as they clean it up. Self trying to heal people desperately on this Mercy. Doesn't have the ult though. I think he just used it actually and didn't really get a whole lot from it. Meanwhile, Saya player trying to hold on here. It's close. MVP Infinity. Oh, they may have a chance here.
Yeah, caught up by a wayward bullet. Everybody was behind the actual pillars on the top of that point, so he couldn't get much value out of his ultimate. They were spamming the doorway. They may actually turn this one around.
Whoa, Reinhardt makes an explosive entrance, but I don't think he wanted to go in that far. Whoops.
Surprising that they were able to actually pull that off. MVP Infinity is going to last here. 40 seconds left on the clock. They're still trying to drag this out as long as they can. There we go. Point captured. Now we'll move into the escort phase. Easy Bro still sticking onto this Pharah.
They didn't leave MVP Infinity with a ton of time to push this payload. So Meta Athena, they delayed for a fairly long time. Nice sleep dart there onto Breck. That's going to slow things down a little bit. They're going to go ahead and use the nano boost, and that's a charge. Breck not going to survive that. And Alpha looking for more victims. Great Earth Shatter. Should be able to pick up 2 or 3 with this. Yes, he does. Goodbye supports. And Meta Athena, man, I love these aggressive defensive fights they've been taking. Sure, they lost point A eventually, but they brought it down nearly to overtime. I mean, their defense has been solid so far.
Yeah, and they know what to do too. It's interesting because they come back from the spawn and they set up while the payload is slowly moving out, get that Ana in a great position for sleep darting. We've seen moves like that from MB before. Chips has shown some impressive flanking sleep darts at times against Reinhardt's, and we're going to get it again here. Great setup, and it really does buy them quite a bit of time.
All right, why not? As that Graviton Surge, didn't want to use it. He had the defense matrix in his face. That's a hard sentence to say. Should not have gone with that one. Doesn't matter though, MVP Infinity forced all the way back to spawn. Yeah, like literally all the way back to spawn. Uh-oh, there's a Graviton Surge now. Where's the follow-up? MVP Infinity looking for some kills here. They get a couple. Athena's got to back away. One fact doing a little bit more damage, and now that payload's going to roll, and I think that Athena may have over-pursued just a bit there.
So if you're going to try and actually play that spawn, what you have to do is just spam the doorway. And they got caught with a Graviton Surge, and then a bit of, I think, a panic there from Hoon as they dropped another Graviton Surge. They were sitting on top of each other, but not going to get the better end of that deal. And because of that defense, they basically just give up point 2 for free. So over-aggressive for sure.
There's a fine line between good aggressive defense and over-aggressive. One fact, using the tac visor there. Saya player, though, finding one on Easy Bro himself.
Actually, they may be able to hold this.
Maybe. We'll see. It's a bit of a brawl right now for sure, but One Fact does have the high ground. MVP Infinity with a better geographical position here, and yeah, I think with Easy Bro floating around that Pharah, they should be able to get this payload moving at some point.
Setting up a nice crossfire right there, giving Reinhardt not enough
There we go.
to work with, and they delay him for quite a long time. Some movement here on the payload can be expected, but only 2 minutes remaining for MVP to push it the rest of the way.
That's right. Libero on the Pharah now for Meta Athena. We have seen him play that hero in the past. And it's kind of like we were saying, you know, they're going to have to swap it up a bit. Easy Bro sneaking around the side. He's got that barrage, so perhaps no real combos to work with as they don't have any other ults. No CC ults to pair with that, but if he comes in from behind, you can still get a good ult. That's exactly what he's going to try to do. Sneaky Pharah coming in. Goes for the barrage, and did it work out? He got Alpha. They needed a bit more, but the payload's moving. That may have just been enough.
Yeah,
It did a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, he got Hoon low enough, too, for One Fact actually just to go ahead and finish him off. The payload's still rolling, so MVP Infinity, after that over-aggression from Meta Athena and some bad split spawns, they have sort of given up the entire rest of the map.
On One Fact, ready to go with the tac visor again, keeping Meta Athena pinned down in their spawn. Alpha was able to walk forward. There's the tac visor now. He needs to use it to try to clear the members of Meta Athena out of the way. Has to deal with the Pharah, though, at the same time. Saya player coming in with his own tac visor, gets one onto Sylph.
Yeah, Nano Boost timing really unfortunate there.
Yep.
Onto One Fact because he had just finished his ultimate and was reloading for a lot of the time that he had that Nano Boost and couldn't actually find any targets. The value of the Nano Boost from Meta Athena onto Alpha significantly higher.
Wow. It would be pretty tragic for MVP Infinity to push it that far and not complete those 3 points.
I mean, does happen all the time on Dumbani, so.
It does, but they were so close, and you feel like a little bit more patience with the ults might have been able to help them do it. Why Not comes in with the Graviton Surge now, wanting to win a big fight here, but there's the sound barrier. Ooh, Meta Athena managed to slaughter MVP Infinity.
That was a bit of a desperation Graviton Surge.
It
was really easy. Of course, as time's running out here, they had to do it, but very easy to counteract with the sound barrier and the 2 Zarya shields that went up during the Graviton. So we have nice hold Sylph going on.
No overtime.
A secret
He
mission.
tried. They
onto the cart.
Now Lucio's never going to play that concert that's being advertised in Dumbani. Oh, what a tragedy.
It's okay. He could just respawn, apparently. Nobody dies in the future.
Hey, that sounds pretty good. Well, until the world's population gets wildly out of control, but, you know.
I bet they wish they had that technology during the Omnic crisis. You know, the one where nobody dies.
Yeah. There you go. The Omnics can just reboot. It's okay. Well, MVP Infinity has, you know, they've got a bit of a ways to go. It might not be too hard to stop Meta Athena from pushing all the way. It's practically 3 points.
Yeah, it is practically 3 points. Saya player looking like we're going to see maybe the Widowmaker again, which is something that he has busted out here in Apex previously, and such an exceptional hit scan player. Should be fun to watch that. And yeah, I mean, if you just take a look at that, no
great
real
Earth Shatter.
chance. Yeah, Earth Shatter coming through there, and they couldn't get the damage down thanks to initially the Zarya shields, and then followed up with a sound barrier.
Yeah. 안녕하십니까. Wow, Reinhardt is so polite.
Yeah, he is very polite. That's
Nice guy.
It's like the most polite way you can say hello.
Yeah, it is.
That,
you know, and
that,
he's older. He doesn't need to be respectful to anybody.
That isn't a verb ending like used for the king or whatever, right?
No, it's not like that.
Commonly
just,
used modern verb ending.
It's just extremely polite.
All right, so Meta Athena going to be playing. See if they're probably not going to stick with that Torbjorn, but we've been hearing some murmurs of more Sombra play from teams here in Korea.
Yeah.
There we go. Libero back onto the Pharah, and not going to see the Widowmaker, unfortunately.
Let's see what we see. VP Infinity with a pretty normal triple tank defense coming in as Saya player walks forward. Takes a bit of damage, but he gets the heals, of course, and Libero back on that Pharaoh once more. MVP Athena kind of splitting up a little bit, looping around the side.
And being very cautious, trying to scout this one out first. Pharah going to come up over the back. No Soldier. Looks like they're using the positioning right there is great because he was using the pillar to block the angle that the Soldier would have had from the far side of the opposite point.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Saya player under a little bit of pressure here on the side. MVP Infinity a little bit scattered. Saya player, though, has to avoid the Winston, and it's tough to do that.
This was significantly better executed.
Yeah.
Coming in.
It's pretty decent. And it looks like Meta Athena not going to quite be able to take the point here, but they did claim a lot of victims in the process. Hoon going to be pretty badly split spawned, it looks like.
He's going to try and avoid that fate, but he
I
may
don't
have
think
just
he's gonna
got it
avoid that fate.
even worse than before, down to the clothing shop now on the far side.
Ouch.
So quickly taken out, and it'll be a long, long wait, but see him going back in nearly immediately.
Well, MVP Infinity didn't really set up their defense as organized as they would have normally. That's one kill already for Saya player. Pops, why not, out of the mech. And Libero's got a pretty decent angle on the side here. Whoa, hi!
Okay.
Winston has leapt up to say hello.
Yeah, Libero actually killing himself right there with splash damage from a rocket.
Fun times.
Attack Visor is available. EasyBro still working his way up, so a small window of time here for Meta Athena to work with.
Yep. Hoon's so low already. One fact popping him out of the mech. And they're going to look for a few more kills. Saya player has attack visor going. Wow, and one fact just wrecking people on this Roadhog right now. Not even having to use that whole hog. Meta Athena coming back with a couple kills themselves. Hook misses there. And now it's time to Primal Rage. Okay, Libero tries to push the monkey off the edge of the cliff, but can't quite do it. And Meta Athena fighting to try to take point A here. There's a barrage.
Oh,
a lot of it is Zoida. Oh, but Undyne pops up again. And that did not work out super well. MVP Infinity still holding this payload, but a minute 45 left for Meta Athena.
Yeah, Libero actually is going to switch to May right there. Already
That's a good
planning,
idea.
I think, to swap that one out. He's the last one left. Obviously not going to cap that point. So tries for the barrage, but instantly devoured by the defensive matrix. MVP Infinity actually looking great now in terms of their ult economy. They've got a lot coming up in just a little bit. 3 up now.
Yep. Oh, Hoon pulled in. Whoa, boy. Oh, man, I thought, yeah, one fact did end up falling off there at the end, I think. Caught a fire strike at the same time. EasyBro on his own up on the second floor here. He has to avoid Saya player coming from the side from that 76. MVP Infinity is trying to hold the point right now. Libero on this May. We saw him play a lot of it in Challenger earlier, but hasn't played a ton of it yet in this league. He's going to have to take the dive, and MVP holding again. Meta Athena has basically one push remaining if they want to try to take this.
Yeah, Saya player has attack visor, but he's going to die right at the end right there. Not much time to work with. Libero actually switching to the Reaper, so trying to bust through one fact. Looks like really going to try and target that Roadhog and deal with the Winston as well. But man, no May ult. It's about 54%. Might have had time to get that Blizzard up, but now he's going for the immediate punch, the immediate firepower against these tanks with the Reaper.
Here they come, just bulldozing up the hallway, but that's a self-destruct sent in right away. Gonna get Alpha. Wow, Reinhardt out of the way already. And one fact does fall, but Libero died before that too, so Meta Athena, it's gonna be really hard for them to take this point. 20 seconds left, blind hook doesn't connect, and MVP Infinity looking at a good chance of tying up this series here. on Nimbani.
Yeah, Infinity actually is set up very nicely on the far side of the point right now. Alpha's going to take some damage right as he comes in. Hoon trying to break through.
Yep, trying what he can, but he's got a nano-boosted Winston to deal with Sia player on the side, but a lot of it getting blocked by the defense matrix. He has to back away. One Pack gets a kill. He's on Tracer now. Want to get back in time, and it does not look like Meta Athena is going to be taking this point. Chris trying to survive as long as he can on the payload, but that's not going to work out. Overtime's gone, and MVP Infinity will tie up this series.
Why not? It had such great positioning on that Diva throughout that entire point.
Yeah.
Really impressive stuff from him. He constantly was shutting down the Soldier and making sure, eating that entire barrage as well. So really doing a great job of covering for his teammates. And the Infinity, surprisingly, they couldn't win a hybrid or an escort map against Envy. They only needed to win 1 of 3, and they couldn't pull it off. But here, against Meta Athena, they're going to take their first hybrid victory.
Yeah, and pretty convincingly, too. I mean, they defended well against all the aggression that Meta Athena brought at them. And it was some tricky stuff, too. I mean, I like the idea of bringing the Pharah around the side, trying to, boot people off the high ground at least to create better fights. A lot of cross-firing lines, but in the end, MVP Infinity just really solid.
I really thought that first push was going to be successful when they took out the Soldier on the high ground using the Winston, but not to be. So, going to tie things up and take a little break.
That's right. We'll be back with game number 3, MVP Infinity versus Meta Athena on OGN Apex Season 2. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to OGN Apex Season 2 with Doe and Monte Cristo, and right now we are all tied up. MVP Infinity and Meta Athena, 1 game apiece. Meta able to win the map Ilios, and then MVP Infinity coming right back and pretty much crushing it on Numbani.
Yeah, full hold and impressive stuff from them. I think we're seeing some cool strategies used. Maybe that initial attack Bastion wasn't the greatest, but I like the theory behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I really could see how that would have worked, but it was such a good read to shut it down instantaneously and not give it even 1 or 2 seconds to set up.
I mean, like I said, we saw that from Western teams in a lot of tournaments.
Yeah,
like
energy.
Yeah, I feel like I saw that a lot more like 4 or 5 months ago or something like that. I've done that with like friends on the ladder, but haven't seen that one in a while, and now you see why. It's pretty easy to respond to and just kind of crush.
Well, yes, if you see it's coming and respond very quickly. Like, if you give any time at all to that with the number of shields and tanks that they had in front of that Bastion, it could have been disastrous, but was shut down. And now we're going to go to the Assault map, where MVP Infinity was previously shining in their match against Envy.
All right, Hanamura is going to be the pick by Meta Athena. And they're going to try to take the lead once again in this best of 5. See if they can do it. Hope we get to see some Symmetra on this one.
You really want to see that Symmetra, though?
I do. Symmetra's fun, man.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see some Symmetra. I think that's probably a solid bet.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, the meta's been really good ever since the patch. A lot of diversity. Of course, we still see...
Now we're talking about the meta, not the team, the meta.
Well, they've been pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Everybody's winning who has meta, or anything that has meta in it is going to be...
Anything with the meta. A lot of
pretty
DPS.
good right now.
All right. Well, we'll see who gets to go first on Hanamura. It's time to see who takes the lead again. Meta Athena versus MVP Infinity. Let's get in the game and find out. All right. Welcome to Hanamura, home of the pinkest trees in the world.
Lovely cherry blossoms, Doa.
Yeah, but these things are like ultra pink, and they've never actually finished falling. Maybe they're not real trees. I think those are robotic trees.
Maybe they're holograms.
Could be. Yeah.
You just never know with that hard light stuff they've been inventing in the future.
That's a good point.
What's real and what's not real anymore.
You build a tree.
All right, we're going to see some Torbjorn, which has been making appearances at times on some of these defensive points, and actually, well, the Junkrat would be more surprising for sure.
I knew you were going to talk about that Junkrat on attack. And
yeah, it's not going to happen.
It'd be fun, but you know, the only place we see that is our ladder games from our teammates, right? Yeah, that's where we see the Junkrat most.
I love it when my team goes Hanzo Widowmaker attack every single game.
Yeah, and the Junkrat.
And the Junkrat. You gotta get them all in there. You know?
And then you do badly the first round, and so everybody then one guy rage Torbjorn's.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, we're watching some good professional Overwatch now. Everything's fine.
Yeah, mercifully, but
oh yes.
Triple tank here for MVP Infinity with that Torbjorn and the Mei, so very defensive composition coming out, and Athena looking to be poking at least at first. Triple tank for them as well.
Yeah, there's the ice wall, and right away they split up Meta Athena. One back coming in with that Mei, and that's a problem for Meta Athena. They lose a lot of people already, and that first attack is stuffed pretty hard.
Yeah, it is.
Nice right click on the Chris at the end. Poor Chris is not catching any breaks today, is he?
No, and we did see the D.Va try and go over the wall, and it blocked some of that damage coming in, but the surprise Mei working out. One fact, looking to set up here for another wall. And you know, Meta Athena, when they don't run a Lucio, it can be really hard to get into these points. You sort of need that speed boost. But they're going to try and go over it instead, Doa. They're going to go with the Pharah Mercy as a reaction to the Mei.
We'll see how it works out.
Well, I think this is a great switch. You know, if you see that Torbjorn and you see the Mei, there's nothing to kill this Pharah right now.
Oh, Easy Bro gets pinned, and he may not last too long. Takes a breath, gets under the point, and wow, he's actually going to stay alive for the moment. I thought he was going to get killed for sure, but Undyne giving out armor to everyone, that helps out a little bit. And yes, it's the boosted Mei, just for funsies, you know, because why not? I don't think maybe that was the greatest time to use a nano boost, but they defended, so.
They did defend, and yes, I do think it was a bit of an overreach right there. Meta Athena going to stick with things, and I agree with this. You know, you've got a lot of damage from the Pharah with no damage fall off, so take out that Torbjorn turret if you can find that angle on it. And still, they're really reliant on the Mei right clicks to actually kill this Pharah, which is tough.
Alpha went really deep. He's on the point right now. Meanwhile, they're going to give Hoon the nano boost. Meanwhile, One Fact takes a nap in her own blizzard. Hoon's just going to get frozen for the moment, taken down. Undyne getting 2 kills. And this Torbjorn's kind of going nuts right now.
Oh,
I think that 3, yep. That turret's going to get play of the game for sure, man. I've seen how this one ends. Yeah.
Hey, he used the Molten Core well. He walked right up to Hoon and just right-clicked him right in the face during that blizzard. A surprise that the Mei actually went down there. I thought that wouldn't have that have the ice block off cooldown, and Saya player going to flip over to the Widowmaker, so going for another hero that can efficiently deal with this turret from long range.
Yeah, but I feel like you're relying on picks against such a tanky composition.
Nice
he gets Why Not right before he gets back in the mech, but I was about to say relying on picks like this against a tanky composition is risky, but they've got a couple kills as they come in here. Hoon kind of on his own, though. One back to the freeze, another headshot will do it.
Ooh.
Can't quite get there before the right click comes in, but Undyne does take out Libero again. Libero did get the turret with his ultimate, though, so he's got that going for him at least, I guess.
It's right now. I like the response that we're seeing from Meta Athena. He's actually just going to go for the Reaper now, and they'll rely on the Widowmaker to clear out the turret instead after he drops that barrage.
Yeah.
58 seconds left, and we saw this before. Meta Athena, when they don't have much time, not going to get another ult charge in, just relying on the left-click damage from the Reaper to try and bust through these tanks.
Yeah, and I like this from Libero. He played a decent amount of Reaper in their last match. I'm surprised it took us this long to see it because it is effective against those tanks. He's going to keep surviving here. There's another kill onto Easy Bro. Got a little bit lucky there, I think, but One Fact finds himself kind of on his own defending this. Meta Athena might have finally found their point A take if they can survive this blizzard.
Well, they're going to dump the nano boost right there, but the Molten Core is back. Hoon is frozen. Oh man, that was actually initially a disaster for MVP Infinity because the problem when that fight started was that One Fact actually walled Breck off from his own team. So really quite problematic to start that thing off, and that's why they got the initial pick onto the Reinhardt. We're able to snowball that into a victory, even though the wall was dropped quickly. Just that split second made a pretty big difference in how that fight turned out.
Well, some exciting music anyway, because it was into near overtime a little bit there, but Meta Athena is rolling on to point B now. Saya player sticking with the Widowmaker. Hoon gets a kill already as they charge right into the point. They did go ahead and drop the Graviton Surge, and Hoon's so charged up right now, man. This is the Hoon that everybody loves watching here in Korea. And man, they are going to crush this fight here on point B. MVP Infinity, they can't hold it. And just like that, 2 points for Meta Athena.
Now, we didn't see how that started. Somehow, Hoon killed the enemy Ana to start off that fight. And man, did that make a big, big difference. They were out of position.
Yeah.
The Ana was the last one to die in the previous fight, so it just respawned, and Hoon manages to make his way onto the point, get that very important initial kill.
I feel like maybe that was a combo from some poke from another member of the team.
Yeah, maybe.
He just finished him off with a right click. I would imagine that's probably what happened. But either way, MVP Infinity coming so close to a full hold on point A and then losing the whole thing.
Yeah, that was
kind of tragic, but they're going to roll back in with offense, and it looks like they might be going for a full dive comp here.
Yeah, this does seem that's what we are going to be seeing from them. Meta Athena out of the base, and they're going to be rolling with surprise triple tank.
Yep. So, I like MVP Infinity saying, "All right, we just want to be aggressive now. We just want to get more time in the time bank. If we're going to go ahead and go to the time bank here, which MVP Infinity knows they have to, otherwise they're going to lose this map."
Yeah, absolutely. So they're going to be going for the Pharah as well, but Saya player here on the Soldier, so it won't be as effective as we saw the Widowmaker and the Pharah be on that last attempt at the attack. And I think Meta Athena, they had the right idea with that composition against what they were facing, but unfortunately the tanks sort of went in a little bit too far sometimes or got walled off, and they weren't able to capitalize on basically that long-range damage from the Pharah and the Widowmaker that didn't have very many answers from MVP Infinity. Pure dive composition. Oh, we're going to switch it up. Reinhardt comes through for why not.
Okay, still pretty divey though. I mean, they've got the Genji, the Winston, the Tracer. You've got the Zenyatta, of course, for the Orb of Harmony, which is better for dive. A lot easier to keep people healed with the Zenyatta than with the Ana in this case, a lot of times.
Got to be going with the Zarya, which I think is much, much better to provide that extra boost to the survivability. So Easy Bro going up through the top window on the gate.
Yeah, Libero from behind though. It's like, all right, I gotta get out of here, man. I got a good look at the comp. It's good enough.
Yeah, well, once he sees the dive comp coming through, he can't stand there anymore. He needs to be back with his back line like that to protect his teammates with the defensive matrix. So that's a great read, good reposition there.
Totally saved Nuss there.
Yep, really nicely done.
Yeah. The damage still coming in for one pack, though, halfway to that pulse bomb. As MVP Infinity comes around the left side, Easy Bro way on the outside there.
Yeah, looking for that target. Actually does get the Discord Orb target. Saya player goes down.
Yeah. I mean, if they can follow up on the Discord targets, things can go quite well, which is what we're seeing right now. MVP Infinity really rolling through point A here, and this is exactly what they wanted. They wanted to take this quickly. They wanted to move on to point B as fast as they could and hopefully get more of a time bank to work with.
And we're going to see more and more of this composition.
Oh, yeah.
Even before this patch, teams like LW Blue and Lunatic High were running the Tracer, Genji, Zenyatta, Winston combination pretty heavily so that they could get these backline dives. And if you have good target selection and you could really just burst down that Orb of Discord target in the back line, it quickly turns into a 6v5 and snowballs.
Yep. Yeah, Zenyatta, so good at making those targets vulnerable, but also good at just having a means of healing that doesn't involve, line of sight, right?
I mean, MVP Infinity, they're trying to poke right now because they nearly have 6 ults already. So there's going to be a timing window here.
Oh,
they're going to look for it. Actually, I don't know about using that right there, but if they can get the kill.
They nearly got Alpha. If they can finish him off, it is going to be big. Easy Bro gets Hoon, looking for a little bit more. And Breck managed to kill Alpha, so Alpha did go down. So they got the 2 tanks. This is what they wanted. Oh, but Easy Bro can't quite stay alive. He was solo health for so long. One pack looking for more, takes down Saya player. There's the sound barrier for MVP Infinity. This is their chance. There's the self-destruct, though, for Meta Athena as they retake the point for the moment defensively. Libero coming back now, and looks like MVP Infinity going to have to call this one regroup. It was a good try. Oh, wow. Breck really took a trip there.
Oh, I really disagree with what we saw MVP Infinity do. They engaged too early. If they had actually just waited and poked out and got poked just a little bit more to get 6 ultimates, but they pulled the trigger just a little bit too soon. There was going to be about a 20% window where they were going to have all their ults up, and Meta Athena was going to have absolutely nothing. So I think could have really held on to that, and now they're forced to swap out on a lot of their heroes, and it sort of resets everything.
They can't lose Why Not here, and they do. They needed him for the big bang. That was their only big combo coming into this fight. So now it's a brawl. Now they have to scrap their way to a victory here, but it's not going to work out. Yeah, they lose Easy Bro too, and so time to regroup once again.
Yeah, man, Meta Athena now really going to be ahead of the ult economy game, and this is what can be very difficult about these 2CP, the Assault maps, is once you miss your timing window on your ultimates, if you're trying to snowball one point into the other, if you allow that ult economy to reset, it can cost you 2, 3, 4 minutes.
Yeah. In fact, still has that ultimate. They've still got the big bang. They've got the Graviton Surge and the Pulse Bomb. Coming on the left side now. Just sneaking in there. One Fact, meanwhile, kind of harassing as much as he can.
Yeah, One Fact actually did just drop the Pulse Bomb, though.
He did,
and
wow.
dies.
Oh, man. That is not what MVP Infinity needed right now. I'm really surprised they didn't save that for some sort of larger wombo combo. Because now, I mean, how do you push with just a Graviton Surge? They're just kind of milling around on the deck over here.
Yeah,
there's a Biotic Grenade. Yep. All right, Alpha does get one, and looks like MVP Infinity is going to take a quick flight home.
Yeah, there's a jump off, reset this fight. But Meta Athena didn't have to use any ultimates at all right there. One Fact switching over to the Roadhog after dumping that Pulse Bomb. And MVP Infinity really not looking very disciplined so far on this map.
No. We're seeing them try to do some of those more unique approaches that they're known for. But I agree that their actual engages have been definitely lacking today compared to what we saw from them in their last match. And here we go again, Graviton Surge, Meta Athena ready to go right away. Oh, Saya player with a huge Pulse Bomb. Look at that, picking up 4.
Wow, that was
This is
gross.
just so demoralizing for MVP Infinity. They've still got 3 minutes to work with, but man, it's been rough.
Yeah, but at least they drew some ults out. So MVP Infinity, it has been a slow grind back into an ult economy dominance as we check that one out.
That's got to feel good.
Easy as can be.
Yeah.
Pretty classic combo. Just drop the Graviton, have the Reinhardt charge the enemy Reinhardt out, so you, drop the shield, and then opens up for a ton of damage.
That's called a play of the game right there. Why not? Backing away already. MVP Infinity trying to loop around the left side like we've been seeing. It is an interesting way to engage, and they've got some else to work with now. 5, in fact.
And Meta Athena catching up, though, and they still have a sound barrier of their own, so should be able to really nullify most of the damage coming in as long as the sound barrier is well timed.
Earth Shatter was blocked
Shatter.
here. Yeah, Alpha in a little bit of trouble here. Meta Athena may not be doing too great at the beginning of this fight. Kills on both sides. Why not? Still holding on to that Graviton Surge. Doesn't want to get it absorbed. Has to worry about the Tracer in the back lines now. So low. Meanwhile, Easy Bro up on the top, doing as much damage as he possibly can. Meta Infinity, or MVP Infinity. These team names, man. Split up a little bit. They've been managing to keep the push more or less together, but they finally give it up. Lost a little bit too much there when Sylph went down.
The amazing thing is Chris actually managed to hold on to his sound barrier throughout that entire engagement, and they still won while forcing Sylph's sound barrier out. So, I mean, this is looking really good now for Meta Athena. They still have that defensive tool in case MVP really commits.
Well, here's a commitment. MVP going way in with the Graviton Surge. Sound barrier in response from Athena. Saya player on the outside of the fight, and MVP Infinity kind of struggling to move forward. They got a couple kills, but they need to hold the point, and they need to hold it against the respawns too, which is not going to be super easy.
Oh wow,
Saya player gets really low. Yeah, got some health back. Had to recall there. Easy Bro takes the top position. Meta Athena coming back at the respawns now, but this may be it. Not a lot of time gained on the control meter yet. Easy Bro does dodge the Pulse Bomb though. And Athena, this is about as good push as they've had yet this series.
They really have to do something. Takvisor's going to come up right in time here and try and use the Diva to get on top of nullify that damage, but he can't find it, and they're going to pick up Nuss on the side.
Yeah, that's right, but meanwhile, Meta Athena still streaming in. Not even one tick on the control meter yet. And they are pushing MVP Infinity back. It was a valiant effort, but in the end, Meta Athena looks like they're going to hold this one.
It's just so hard to take that
really
point
is.
when everybody's streaming back onto it on the side of the defense. So despite Easy Bro basically having free reign over that entire fight, this wasn't enough.
You need to have some sort of big wombo combo on point beyond Hanamura, it seems like. You need to take out basically everybody at once and then, handle the respawns as they come.
Yeah, it looks so good. They got the initial picks onto the tank line from Meta Athena, but couldn't quite convert on it.
Not a lot of ults on either side to work with right now. Breck does have his Earth Shatter, though. See if he decides to use it. He's going to probably have to. Waiting for it now. Goes through. Where's the follow-up? Meta Athena needs to be careful. The Saya player comes in. Has that Pulse Bomb. Goes back out with a recall. Kills on each side. Pulse Bomb used. Saya player manages to avoid his own there. And they are on the point. Meta Athena, they may have it. Meta Athena not getting on the point in time to really stop this until the very end. There's the self-destruct. They got to run for it. No kills as MVP Infinity tries to get back in position, but that self-destruct may have been enough. Libero may have saved it in time for his team to get back in position. Saya player fighting for his team's life here. Hoon does go down, but he drops the Graviton Surge. Does he do it in time, though? MVP Infinity, they may have it here in OT. Easy Bro with the tag visor. Can he do it? Needs to take the ones on the point. They get it. 2 points for MVP Infinity. It was in OT, so they're still in dire straits, but man.
Impressive
Close
stuff.
call.
Yeah, very impressive stuff coming out there. And they sort of, Meta Athena broke down, again, the counter Earth Shatter just better from MVP. Earth Shatter has gone into a couple shields so far from Alpha.
Yeah.
And that made all the difference right there in terms of setting up the CC to get the initial picks and then translate it to an actual push onto the point.
Wow.
Did happen at OT, though, so...
That was just such a bizarre fight, too, because it was almost like MVP Infinity just ran past onto the point, and
yes,
Athena just took a long time to respond.
Yeah, absolutely. Clever play.
Well, that's what MVP Infinity will do, though, right? I mean, they find these weird angles of engage that you may not be expecting, and it worked out.
Yeah, problem now is they have to full hold.
Yep.
And there's 3.5 minutes for Meta Athena. Again, if we do end up in a draw scenario, we will go to 1 point of control.
Yep.
To decide the winner of the map. Coming out with the Torbjorn again, so same composition. They decided it was working for them before. Meta Athena, see what they bring to attack.
Well, you know, I like what MVP Infinity is doing here. They nearly did full hold in their first defensive round, so, you know, if it was working, why change it?
Well, full dive composition, so Meta Athena trying something very different this time around.
Yeah.
This may not be that effective, though.
Well, we'll see. It all depends on if they can get in there and try not to get split up by that Mei wall.
Well, the problem is that all the targets for your dive compositions are very difficult to kill. You basically have to go after a support player. One fact will be able just to slow you down if you get into that back line.
That's why you include the Zenyatta, right? One fact already gets 1 kill. Undyne picks up another. Doesn't look like this push is going to go much of anywhere. No, one fact going great with this Mei, but you know, again, if you're going to run this dive comp, especially against something like triple tank, you're going to need the Zenyatta, right? Because you're going to need the Discord Orb.
I mean, even if you have the Zenyatta, it's, I think, quite difficult to run here just because there's no good targets that are going to be consistently within line of sight.
Well, they are swapping things up now. Libero over onto the Reaper.
Yes, I think this is going to be a lot better. You have to just bust through the front line. That's the only way you're going to get it. All right, they drew out the Mei ults, or the Mei wall, so that's good. They can actually have a chance to engage.
It's pretty much an ult. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Yeah. Saya player, a lot of damage on the one fact, forces the ice block on the side. They really did need that. And Athena trying to come in now. There's a recall. And can they make any progress here on the point? They're taking a long way around the left. Libero does take down Easy Bro, though, so this may be their opportunity here. Whoa, Saya player needs to be very careful. He got tagged by Syl.
Yeah, but they got to just wait here for Alpha to come back.
Oh, wow. It's Molten Core time, and Undyne really making it tough for Meta Athena to get close. There's a kill onto Libero, and this push not going to work out too well. They're getting a little bit of time on the point, though, so MVP Infinity does need to deal with Chris. Who else would it be? Of course it's Chris there, man. The little Lucio that could. But I don't know if he can. They've got the first tick on the control meter, actually, but there's the Graviton Surge coming in from Hoon. The follow-up is real. Are you kidding me?
That was
wow.
That was really well done by Meta Athena. So they got what happened as they take the map is that because Alpha died first, but then they picked up the kill onto the Roadhog next. They waited around that corner until Alpha came back. Alpha charged in, immediately killed the enemy Reinhardt, and they were able just to snowball it from that point forward. So, I mean, they were just playing with spawn timers right there, and even though the first pick came against them, they managed to stay out of the way back towards the side of point B long enough for the Reinhardt to get back into the fight and win at 65. That was really good discipline, actually, from Meta Athena.
I'm just surprised they were able to stretch out the attack long enough.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with the ults that were used, that was. I don't think MVP Infinity was expecting that fight to drag on that long.
No, not at all. And the Molten Core was a little bit wasted there, too.
Oh, I got 2 with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but
Seems pretty decent.
they were killing everybody else on the point, so.
They were drawn off to the side, which was part of the purpose of the attack, but they didn't maybe get back to the point soon enough to intercept the respawns from Meta Athena. So Athena does find itself in the lead in this series. Next map choice does go over to MVP Infinity. They've got a choice between Dorado and Route 66. And it will be none other than the one, the only.
We haven't seen Dorado in a while.
Route 66, yeah. All right. Well, we won't see it again today.
Too bad.
Crimea River.
Yeah, I like Dorado. Dorado's a great map.
I enjoy playing on Dorado. It is fun. Well, an opportunity here for Meta Athena to pull. It's hard to call it an upset because, again, you know, there's just not a lot of data on both of these teams yet in this new meta. But it would be a slightly surprising victory, as I think most people would say MVP Infinity was coming into this a little bit favored anyway.
Well, it's just interesting because they're winning the maps that I thought they wouldn't win, both teams.
Yeah.
You know.
It's been very close either way, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Nimbani wasn't super close, but aside from Nimbani, it's
the full hold
close.
was.
Yeah, that's not as close. Well, forget about that one. As we move into Route 66, guys, Meta Athena looking for a win. See if MVP Infinity can tie this one up again. Let's get in the game and find out. Welcome to Route 66. You know, with the winters in Seoul and other parts of the world right now, Route 66 is starting to look pretty good.
It's probably pretty cold there in the winter, too.
Only at night, though.
At night in the desert.
At night in the desert it gets cold. I'll just, like, huddle up inside Big Earl's, you know.
Inside a gas station.
Yeah, I mean, there's no houses, it looks like.
I'd go to the diner, actually, though.
The diner, really?
I would rather, you know, be inside in the diner than
I'd
a
just
gas station.
start some of those tires on fire. I'd be nice and warm then, you know.
No, you can't.
Warm yourself by the tire fire.
You shouldn't start tire fires next
No?
to gasoline pumps.
Oh, well, you raise a good point. But,
it leads to Zoolander-esque tragedies.
Well, it's not. There's a big difference between lighting a fire near gasoline and having a gasoline fight, and then a resulting accident.
I think tragic accident. I think you just avoid both of those things.
I guess you and I will just have to go on being really, really ridiculously good looking.
Well, that's not hard
No
for
other
us.
choice.
So.
No, not at all. Yeah. People say there's more to life. I'm not so sure.
I'm definitely sure there's not more to life.
No. We're just good looking. That's it. Maybe there's esports. Maybe.
Good looking first at esports.
That's right. That's right. It's all about our modeling career first and foremost. MVP Infinity on the attack here. See if Undyne probably just getting that Sonic Arrow out and then going to swap over to their second support. I'd be pretty shocked if he stayed on it. There was Lucio. And Meta Athena with the defense.
I mean, that's smart. You send the Sonic Arrow out there just to see
Yep.
if there's an unconventional defense going to be going on, a possible attempt at a pick, as opposed to everybody just stacking up on big Earls like they normally do.
Yeah.
Sign player here on that McCree.
I can't wait till Big Earl's a character in the game. That'll be great. I'm anticipating it. Don't disappoint me, Blizzard. Side player with a good position on top of Big Earls here with that McCree. Breck does get the kill into Alpha, though, so MVP Infinity pushing this payload forward. And Saya player, you know, it's a good position, but you got to do something with it, and he hasn't really been getting the kills or the damage.
Yeah, he didn't hit any of the headshots there, so not a great start for him as a main damage dealer on his team.
Well, Hoon just trying to do what he can, but he has to back away. Now Alpha's back, so he can advance a little bit further behind that Reinhardt shield. One fact, looking for a pick, has a hook available, and he's gonna, got broke. Welcome to Hook 2.0.
2.1.
2.1. 2.0.1. And MVP Infinity, they might get a pretty quick point A.
Yeah, that initial pick onto Alpha really did change things. And the damage simply wasn't there. McCree looked like Player was hitting a lot of his shots, but without those headshots, without actually finishing off a kill, doesn't do a whole lot. So MVP Infinity really...
Wow, they're really committing to this defense, but yeah, I mean, they're not going to stop MVP Infinity from getting the point, and now Athena's just going to have a pretty staggered defense here on the second area.
Yeah, going to allow, as they
kind of rough.
Go through streets here, for them to push up pretty darn far forward and start spamming those choke points around the spawn. So again, you know, Meta Athena, I think they've made some questionable decisions on some of these escort and hybrid maps tonight, where the overcommitment has been a little bit real from them, but see if they can bounce back on this defense.
Well, they need to hold point B for quite a while, because they maybe bought themselves about 20 seconds with that last-ditch effort defense on point A. But, you know, in response then, they maybe, lost another 15, 20 seconds in how far the payload is able to move.
Yeah, and because we have so many ults on the board right now, we got to really pay attention to this ult economy, because everybody's going to have 5 or 6 very soon.
Yeah. All right, there's a Deadeye. Got a lot of time with that, too. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Oh, that angle was so good.
It's high noon.
Wow, just popping right over the edge of that Reinhardt shield.
Yeah.
Excellent setup.
I think he busted through it there.
Well, yes. We'll see, take a look at it again, but it looked like he actually managed to sneak some of the kills around. Yes, he did. So,
right. Well, that's a speed boost from Lucio, too. You know, you let McCree speed walk his way in there with the Deadeye, and you can get some tricky high noon kills there.
Yeah, as flashy as that was, though, props to MVP Infinity. They didn't use any of their ultimates, so even though they got wiped, they're going to come in with a very strong push now.
Yeah, Easy Bro with the Dragon Blade, trying to capitalize on that. Graviton Surge gets hit with the flashbang, and as such is not really able to find a lot of targets.
Yeah, bounced up by the Reinhardt charge. And
whoa, nice reflect. Reflects the Death Blossom, actually.
Yeah.
And MVP Infinity, they're going to keep this payload rolling for the moment.
Yeah, that was a huge commitment, though. They used 6 ults to make that work, and Easy Bro does manage to help pick up some more of these kills, and they get it rolling. But Meta Athena going to be coming back strong, and Hoon's going to have another Graviton very soon.
Well, that's why they call him Hoon ults again here in Korea. Easy Bro gets a kill on a Nos. That's pretty nice to get the Ana out of the way.
Trying to stay alive right now. They are going to have to be
Uh-oh.
pushed back. Oh.
You know that staying alive thing you talked about? Well, I got some bad news for MVP Infinity.
Player coming in with the headshots, and Hoon just, I thought that was going to be a mistake dropping that Graviton Surge, but they all clustered up trying to pursue him into that hallway. So Easy CC and the rest of his team was already on that high ground ready to go, and this high noon is going to be a great zoning tool here. We really have seen Meta Athena stall out MVP Infinity in this Streets phase.
Yeah, well, they need to do too. There's the Deadeye yet again. It's got the speed boost. Looking for some kills, trying to find one down the corridor, but no, not able to find anything in the canyon. Easy Bro, though, sneaking around on the outside of the fight, coming in from behind. And I don't know if Nuss is seeing him coming. No, he's not. In a lot of trouble here. Player. He's ready for that flashbang, but Player smartly not using that one. Does get the kill onto Breck at the same time here. Hoon really deep in the back lines. The fight is kind of spread out across the whole point B area here. But that payload's moving backwards. MVP Infinity not really able to push it right now.
Yeah, they responded really well to the Genji, and the Dragon Blade didn't come out, and Hoon was there with that Zarya shield right onto Player's McCree after the reflect was over, so no real opportunity, and here we go.
Nano Blade time. Easy Bro picks up the Ana again for his first kill. Been following her around all day. That's the only one he gets, but One Fact finds one himself too. And MVP Infinity starting off pretty well in this fight. One Fact over on the Soldier 76 now. That's going to be a pretty good change as he gets a lot of damage done to Hoon. Hoon has the Graviton Surge ready to go, but One Fact, they kill each other in the end. But I think that's a trade that MVP Infinity will take right now. That payload is moving fast.
It is moving fast, but if they don't actually push it through right here, may have been better for Hoon. Hoon saving his Graviton Surge, and one of the reasons why we've seen Hoon get these Graviton Surges so quickly is that he keeps getting nano boosted, so the damage output really charging that ult quickly.
Definitely does help, yeah. All right, Tac Visor used, trying to find some targets with that. There's a Graviton Surge from MVP Infinity. One Fact trying to follow it up with his ultimate, gets a kill into Libero. And that payload, they should be able to get point B here. Yeah, they will. All right, so minute 52, back on the clock again.
Absolutely. Well, they did have to drop the Graviton right there to clean it up, so MVP looking like they're going to have to wait for some time to get an effective push down here. Hoon still with that Graviton Surge, and yet another Deadeye. So Saya player's been doing some good work, just buying time, zoning them off the payload. That ultimate. He's going to...
He's got that Graviton Surge, of course.
Yeah, got to drop it up top, actually.
Okay, yeah, trying to pull people in from the side. There's a Deadeye, and Saya player capitalizes on that one hard. 2 kills with the Deadeye.
Wow.
MVP Infinity pushed way back.
The setup was so good.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Graviton was aimed upward when they saw the McCree to raise people above the Reinhardt shield for the Deadeye. That was great synergy there, and such a wonderful method for dealing with the high ground player and making sure that they maximize the potential of that Deadeye at the same time.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty great. MVP Infinity still pushing through. That was blocked. Counter Earth Shatter comes in. Easy Bro, meanwhile, has the Nano Blade. Gonna try to make use of it. MVP Infinity pushing that payload. Libero back on the Mei once again. Just delaying for as long as he possibly can, but now they've got the spawns covered, and that payload is getting really close. MVP Infinity, they might actually be able to finish this one.
Alpha has been really lackluster when it comes to the Reinhardt Earthshatter mind games. He's basically losing every time to Breck in that regard.
Has felt that way, hasn't it? Meanwhile, MVP Infinity, Sound Barrier used, Tac Visor used, getting the kills. One fact really low, though. Drops a Biotic Field. Saya player trying to finish him off, can't quite do it. And Meta Athena in a lot of trouble here. The payload is moving. Last-ditch effort for Libero. He swapped over to the Diva now, gets popped out. And Chris back again. Chris the hero on the Lucio, but once more, not quite able to, well, I mean, oh, are you kidding me? Saya player back again.
There it is.
There, okay. I was going to say, man, that was like 0.1 centimeters to go. But MVP Infinity with a solid push here through Route 66. They get all 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised they were able to push through that. It looked like, after a strong point, the first point, they slowed down quite a bit over the course of the Streets phase. But once again, a little bit lackluster in the finish there from Meta Athena, despite having that really sweet ult combo.
I mean, they had such a good point B defense. They held it for a really long time, but things kind of fell apart once they lost point B. And surprisingly enough, the third point on Route 66, the one you usually see be the hardest for teams to take, ended up being pretty simple for MVP Infinity.
Yeah, the spawns at the end ended up being so staggered, though, that there's only one person coming out of the doors at a time.
Very much, yeah.
Pretty easy for MVP to deal with that, and we'll see MVP Infinity like they're going to be. That's a very interesting composition to use for defense here on point A. It is very uncommon not to see a Reinhardt on first point defense.
It's
on
odd.
This map.
It's very odd. It's odd to see the Zenyatta too. Again, you can just post up on big Earls. And
This is so sneaky.
Oh wow! All right.
Okay.
I'm interested.
I am very intrigued by this. So they are making zero noise.
Yep. Crouch walking across there.
Crouch walking into the train car. I have never seen a defense like this.
I love it. We're going to solo queue.
You knew when you didn't see the Reinhardt that something weird was going to happen. But
Oh yeah.
we got it though. We got something weird. MVP getting creative.
Okay. And we'll see what they could do here. I mean, what they want to do is win a big team fight win, get a big ult charge
They're going to see
advantage.
this Zenyatta with the Sonic Arrow, looks like. So they're going to know something's up.
Oh, he shot the train car. They knew. How did they know?
Oh, this is going to be a disaster probably for MVP now.
Charged right through the train car, man. That is not a good start, but they're making a fight out of it here. One back gets the first kill, and Meta Athena, there's a nice hook. Oh no, Sylph goes down. Hoon with one. MVP Infinity fighting for their lives here. But yeah, Meta Athena able to push forward. Undyne kind of on his own up top there. All right, it was a good try. Undyne gets 2 kills. Hey man, that's a bloodthirsty Zenyatta. I appreciate that, but
that was
what a great read by Meta Athena.
That was such a good read.
Yeah.
And the best thing is that MVP Infinity had no idea that they knew it was coming. So Meta Athena was able to clear out those train cars, and now, I mean, you basically have to give up on this defense now.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're not going to, but it's going to be tough. They actually managed to hold the payload for a little bit here. Undyne pretty close to Transcendence. One fact does get a kill. In fact, he gets 2. And Libero on that Hanzo is going to be very vulnerable to the Winston. So they're going to be able to push this back pretty decently here.
Yeah, actually, Libero going down, so they weren't able to get the initial picks inside of having very strong positioning. So MVP Infinity doing a wonderful job bouncing back. I thought that was a complete disaster, but
yeah. Okay.
They're able to just retake this control over this area. And you're not going to be going for the high ground here, that's for sure. This is a team composition that really needs cover.
Yeah.
And is all about getting up in your face. Libero going to be swapping over to the Reaper himself now.
Yeah, one fact on his own here. Pulse Bomb, oh, takes out 2. Hoon and Chris going down. Great Pulse Bomb from Easy Bro. Really nice.
One fact going to be played very aggressive against the Reinhardt.
Well, that's that for the push.
Yeah.
Team kill.
So, wow, MVP Infinity doing wonderfully after that initial gaff. And they're still using this same composition, playing a very unorthodox style. And they're just playing in those corridors, playing on the flanks right now.
And they've got a really great way to handle any ult combos coming in with that
Transcendence.
ult. That's right, Death Blossom in the top. And all right, gets 2. Another one from Easy Bro, and another push just stuffed immediately.
I mean, the ult combos we've seen so far in this series have been wonderful, though. There, the Death Blossom turned the Reinhardt away, and once the shield was gone, that's when we saw the Earth Shatter just hit.
Beautiful.
Or the CC, rather. And that man did a lot of work. So Saya player now going to switch to the Widowmaker.
Okay, Libero. This one, he's going to get the Orb of Discord on him immediately, but it is tough for MVP Infinity to shoot this Pharaoh out of the air right now. Do Saya player on the Widowmaker. Wow, Undyne the first victim. Oh, nice! Flying shot onto Easy Bro. All right, well, Saya player making his presence felt in a big way, and Hoon capitalizing on that with a Graviton Surge. And there is one angry monkey in the mix, but he's on his own. Breck not going to last too much longer. Yep. And finally, the push gets going. Wow, what a hero move from Saya player on that Widowmaker.
Well, it's the same thing. So you see Meta Athena swap up once again, like we saw on Hanamura, to the Widowmaker and the Pharah because there isn't any long-range damage. They know MVP Infinity wants to get close, and that's the only way that they're going to be able to win these fights. So instead, they take it long range, and they make it work.
Well, there's the Transcendence. They were really saving that, but didn't get to use it in a very great way. Still, the push is held, and now we're down to near overtime. Undyne still alive for the moment. Yeah, not bad. Okay, Moon coming back again. It is kind of tragic that they lost Undyne there. But MVP Infinity still holding. Yeah, this may be it. They might still get a full hold here at the end. In fact, it looks like they will. Only 4 seconds. I don't think Meta Athena can get back. Alpha jumping in, gets back there. 1 second to spare, and that's going to buy enough time for the team to arrive on the scene. Why not with the kill, though? And we're into OT.
Yeah, the problem, though, is that they wanted to play the long-range composition, but now that you have to get on the cart to keep this out, Infinity's composition works absolutely beautifully against what Meta Athena is throwing out at them, and I don't think there's going to be a way for them to deal with this.
That is it. MVP Infinity crushes Route 66. Really unique defensive composition. I liked it.
I really wish that Meta Athena had reacted sooner. They spent too much time trying to push in and fight just at close range with MVP Infinity, and when they swapped to the Pharah and the Widowmaker, they got those picks, but unfortunately the cart had such a long way to roll that when it came down to overtime, that composition simply wasn't going to work. You have to be able to clear people out from range and then move the cart. You can't just fight down and dirty in a big brawl against what MVP Infinity was running, and in overtime you don't have a choice except to do that.
Yep.
Needed to happen earlier, but I really like Meta Athena. They've been, I think, making some really solid moves and swaps, but maybe not at the right time, and as to a certain degree I think they're getting sort of individually outplayed as well.
This has been an interesting series, to say the least, and it's not over quite yet. In fact, we're going to go to the distance on this one. Final choice coming in, Nimbani, Kings Row, and Eichenwald. We'll see what the choice is going to be. And it will be, that's a bit odd, Kings Row, okay. So Kings Row, our final map of the series between MVP Infinity and Meta Athena.
That's really interesting. MVP Infinity, they lost their first best of 5 versus Envy because they couldn't take a single escort or hybrid map. And now they are on the cusp of winning in the exact same fashion that they lost to Envy, which is just by winning escort and hybrid maps.
You know, when you play against Envious, though, and you play against them on maps like Gibraltar, you're probably not going to win. So I think it's partially because Envious were especially good on those maps, too.
Right. I mean, I don't think there's a better team in the world on Gibraltar than Envy, so.
Yeah, I agree. But it all comes down to this. A best of 5, now to the final map, Kings Row. MVP Infinity versus Meta Athena. Let's get in the game and see who takes this best of 5. Well, we'll see which one of these two teams gets it harder on Kings Row. Okay. MVP on the attack, first of all. You know, does Big Ben really need like a digital clock floating in front of the old clock?
I don't know. I don't really know what the purpose of that is.
I'm not sure either.
It's not technically Big Ben.
It's it's more like medium Ben, kind of.
Maybe the wrong location in London for that to be Big Ben. It's just a
mediocre Ben.
It's a simulacrum Ben, I guess.
Fake Ben. Faux Ben.
I don't really understand why Londoners of the future felt the need to make a secondary Big Ben when they already had one.
Hey, when one Big Ben is never enough. You know, Big Bens are like Pringles, man. Once you build them, fun don't stop. You know, when I'm building Pringles in my spare time, that's what I think. Chris, no, don't end it all. Oh, he's okay. He's Lucio.
No fall damage in this.
I got worried. Yeah. No.
They've conquered gravity in Earth of the future.
There's no fall damage. There's only fall death in certain places. Here we go. MVP Infinity on the attack. Easy Bro on the Hanzo this time around to try to poke some people down. See how well it works out. At Athena with a pretty standard triple tank defense. Saya player on that Tracer once again.
Yeah, MVP Infinity, they have to get a pick, though, with the Roadhog and the Hanzo if they're actually going to take this point. There's not really a way they're going to win in a DPS versus DPS showdown in an extended fight. And actually, one fact is going to die quite quickly there, so wait and reset.
I mean, he got the kill on Alpha, actually, so I think they're going to go in now. Yeah, Meta Athena having to back away. They dodge into the hotel for the moment. Easy Bro has a really nice position on the side here.
He's got it, but he's got to start landing these arrows, and that's not going to help. The defensive matrix does make that a little bit harder. And Easy Bro targeted by Libero.
Yep. Libero woken back up again by one fact. Kills coming in on both sides right now. Saya player, though, doing a lot of damage from the outside, being very annoying, but Alpha low once again. Manages to take out Why Not with the Fire Strike, and MVP Infinity, it's been messy, but Meta Athena just barely holding on for the moment. They did get one tick on the control meter, MVP Infinity that is.
I did. Easy Bro looking for an angle through the hotel right now, trying to find another arrow. Again, they got to get that pick, or they need Why Not to charge up his Graviton, but Why Not's only at 50% right now, so the Dragon Strike Graviton combo still a ways out.
Well, Hoon coming in. He's got the Nano Boost, looking for that Graviton Surge, trying to build it up as fast as he can here. And they didn't get any kills off that. So that's going to be the responding attack here. There's the Graviton Surge right away, though. Going to go for a combo. The bigger bang gets 2 for Meta Athena. And there's a follow-up. Hoon all powered up and ready to go. And MVP Infinity, that is not going to be what you would call a successful push. And this Hanzo just was so slow to get started that I feel like maybe it would have been better to swap at this point.
No, I actually think it's good to wait. You know,
think
he's
so?
had that Dragon Strike. Yeah, because the Dragon Strike Graviton combo is one of the most powerful in the game.
It is.
And it's going to be pretty much, as long as they don't mess it up, the guaranteed cap. So we'll see if they can actually come through with it. Why Not just got the Graviton, but Dragon Strike, where is it?
There it is. He fires it in a little bit late there. They get a couple kills. Okay, wow, it catches Saya player with the scatter arrow. So in the end, it does end up working out. All right, well, there you go.
Well, I was really concerned because Easy Bro was chunked out to start that fight, but he had great awareness to shoot it just going through the wall right there and make sure he could capitalize on that Graviton. Looked like it may have been a missed combo, but they managed to make it work.
Yeah. At any rate, it forced Meta Athena to maybe reposition in a place they didn't want to be. And that added up to a successful fight.
Yeah, that's the thing. I really feel if you're going to play the Hanzo Zarya combo, you don't swap. You just commit to it for as long as it takes to at least attempt that combo.
It did take him a long time.
It took him a long time, but managed to cap.
Hoon going really deep there as they go for a pretty hardcore defense here, even popping the sound barrier, but they do end up getting the kill on Easy Bro. Sound barrier in response for MVP Infinity as they want to try to push this one back again. Hoon, low health, has to back away, doesn't have the Ana to heal him up right now too. It's a bit of a dangerous moment. Alpha does come in with the pin onto Why Not. Meanwhile, Nano Boost he used onto Breck, but he doesn't really find a lot of targets, but he does help the payload move at least.
Yeah, got Alpha. That's going to be enough. Everybody else has to back off on the side of Meta Athena right now. Pretty big push forward here.
Yeah.
We're rejoining, and Ana getting low, but quite going to
call
go
for
down.
Silk.
Hoon's in.
All right, Saya player's out before he uses his grenade though. Undyne does go down. Hoon decides to take matters into his own hands. And MVP Infinity pushed back a little bit. Saya player died before he could use his ultimate.
That was so bad because Hoon committed the Graviton to that, and they needed that combo to work, and now Graviton is gone. Why not? It's going to be pushing back. Looks like Meta Athena will stall them at least for now, but
It's insane. Hoon's already up to 55% on his ult meter again.
really.
And that no
Quite
nano
impressive.
boost involved there, man. That was just good shielding and just a huge amount of aggression.
That's the Saya player going to be sitting on the side with the Pulse Bomb he was unable to use in that last fight. Easy Bro going to be on the Genji.
Swapping things up a little bit. Oh, well, that was an interesting ult, but not really gaining anything out of there. With the kill on the Breck, though. There's another Graviton Surge for MVP Infinity, but no follow-up right now. Yeah, Easy Bro not able to get anything done on the Genji, and Meta Athena with a really strong hold at a place where you don't see holds usually last this long in King's Row.
No, but this is such a good place to play if you're the defense. Like, this is the choke that you always want to fight in if you can. It is the easiest place to defend. Unfortunately, you don't get that many opportunities because it's the furthest away from your base. But this time, Hoon actually got nano boosted and is sneaking up. He's got the Graviton Surge again, so not making any noise. Trying to check and see if there was going to be a flank coming in from the other corridor, but they are in a really good defensive position right now. And they also have a huge ult advantage.
He's waiting to see if the team's going to try to come through the window on top. They're actually coming here on the side. Wow, long route for MVP Infinity. This is this unique angle we keep talking about. They're going to try to come in as the defenders from that angle. Sound barrier used for both teams here. Graviton Surges come in. Where's the combo? There's a little bit. Dragon Blade coming in for Easy Bro, and MVP Infinity seems to be coming out ahead in this fight. Yeah, there goes Hoon. And so, the unique approach pays off, and they'll get that payload moving, finally.
Wow. I mean, there wasn't the damage there. So the way they came around, they forced Hoon's Graviton Surge out, and Libero did not get a chance to use his self-destruct. That was the combo they were looking for, but instead they get the crowd control, but none of the damage down as they dealt with Libero, and now that's the result, is they're going to get a big push out of it.
Might be able to claim point B. Meta Athena coming in for one big push. There's a sound barrier for MVP Infinity. Now Alpha way out of position, so one back just turns around. Has to dodge that self-destruct, though. Easy Bro gets caught by it, though. Meta Athena did not need that. Oh, one back grabs a nice hook kill, too. And there's a whole hog. We'll see if they can push him off long enough for MVP Infinity to take the point. It might be tough. They got to get back on there, man. 2 seconds left. 1 second. And oh, he got back just in time. Sylph on the Tracer now, just trying to keep the payload alive. I don't know how long he's going to be able to do it.
He's trying. 1 HP, 0, and looks like that is going to be it.
Yep. Oh, but the pause. You kidding me? What's going on here?
What? You can't pause it like that. What is happening?
But, you know, why not?
Why not, I guess. Wow. Well, Meta Athena finally manages to put together a decent defense on one of these escort or hybrid maps.
Yeah, I mean, we know that it's going to be a 1 point hold for Meta Athena here.
Hopefully wasn't too much of an issue. There is literally 0.1 seconds left in this match.
Well, we'll see what happens.
So.
All right, they're conversing about it right now, trying to find out what the issue is. I've been told. The magic voice in my ear.
Okay.
And it sounds like one of our Reinhardts is having
no, why not?
PC
Why
problem.
not?
Oh, why not? I thought he said Reinhardt.
Yeah, why not has a PC issue right now.
All right.
Hopefully you can get that resolved. I'm not sure how much that would have affected the game, considering everybody had already been cleared off the payload. And
well, he was not really in a position to do anything at that point.
Well, even if he had been there, I mean, it was like 6 versus 1 on the payload, or 6 versus 2, so unlikely that it would have actually changed the outcome. But you never know how long that's been going on, so we'll wait alongside the players.
Side player needs a new headset cord, man. Why not? It's got extra headsets. Just balling out of control with those headsets.
Wow, they were just unfortunate on the attack there. A few missed combos from MVP, and weren't able to set up in the same way that they had on some of these previous maps, and Meta Athena getting the best of them. Although I did like that they were very sneaky about how they were going to dodge, trying to attack through that main choke point at the gate just beyond the first point.
Yeah.
Going all the way around through upper halls.
A big part of that defense for Meta Athena, for the most part on that point B, was just Hoon just continuously having those graviton surges. Again, it really is incredible how he manages to build those up. And, you know, you talked before the match began, you know, that maybe that was something that Infinity could capitalize on, that Hoon may, you know, be moving too far forward in these fights. But it seems like, you know, Hoon, as far forward as he may be moving, he manages to stay alive most of the time and make it work.
Well, yeah, and the other thing is they play around him. He gets so many nano boosts for a Zarya player. I mean, they really do have a lot of confidence in his ability on that hero, and they set him up in a space to carry. And when you have that nano boost and you've got high energy, you are going to be building that graviton really, really fast.
Yeah.
And they know that. So everything about the style that we've seen from Meta Athena just sort of revolves around graviton surge and setting up those combos, and they just make sure that he's going to have it up for as much time as possible.
You know, it also really frees up Saya player to be super aggressive in the back lines and just be this really annoying factor that the other teams have to deal with. When you've got Hoon kind of diving into your front line, Saya player in the back line, it's hard to peel for your supports and handle the big push at the same time.
Yeah, definitely is. So still waiting to see what Why Not's issue is with the PC.
Yep.
You can put your lips on the water bottle. Pouring it gently into his mouth.
Oh,
wait. He figured out how to use a bottle.
Whoa.
Good.
Amazing. He's taken his first step into a larger world. It'll be easier to drink a lot of different things now.
Yeah. Bottle mechanics are on point. Don't have to worry about getting it all over your face or your clothes that way.
KR bottle mechanics. Right there.
Top tier.
I think KR bottle. Yeah. Well, so hopefully Why Not gets his computer in working order. Breck. That's the sound I make when I find corn and Korean pizza.
Breck.
Breck. Yeah, if there's a pause, you know that corn and Korean pizza is going to become a topic of conversation.
It's so terrible. It's always on our mind.
It is. We were going to say
so,
at the same time.
It's so deeply offensive that
it
it permeates my psyche on a nearly hourly basis.
It hangs like a specter over everything we do here. At night, I dream of it. I wake up in a cold sweat going, Breck!
I'm not sure what's worse, like Korean pasta or corn on Korean pizza, because for some reason, like
here, okay, I have an answer.
It's all
for your
sweet. Like the pasta sauces here that they make have like way too much sugar in them.
I have an answer for your question though. Corn in pizza sauce is never good. It is never, ever, ever good. While I have had pasta in Korea, that is pretty good. You know, it's not.
Where'd you go? Please tell me.
It's not the best. I've been to some very nice restaurants that had good pasta, and I will tell you about it. But I've never had pizza with corn in it be good. So there's a defining factor for me, is that good pasta can exist in Korea, but pizza with corn in it that tastes good cannot.
Here's a question. So even fresh corn in Korea isn't great, right? It's never good. So here's a question. If there was good fresh corn and you put it on a pizza, would it be okay? Because I don't know if that has ever been actually attempted.
I don't know. It's kind of rubbery here for some reason.
Yeah, it's really not very flavorful.
It's very bizarre. Hey, what do you know? The round has ended. That sound guy was waiting for so long. He's like, I got this music queued up, man. I'm ready to go. So, Meta Athena holding MVP Infinity to just 1 point. That is it. So, Meta Athena, you know, they got to take point A, but they really don't have to push the payload all that far to win this match.
No, they don't. They get it basically all the way through point 2. They will be in a good situation, but they got full held on Numbani. They haven't been excellent when it comes to even getting a little bit of the way on these escort maps so far.
Yeah, there it is.
They got full health on both of them, actually, on Route 66 as well.
Yeah.
Meta Athena really going to have to mix it up.
Well, if Nuss stays on that Sombra, which he won't, they are.
No, I don't think their support player is going to be. Well, you never know.
See,
actually, you know, there is some value, I think, to running one support and putting one of your support on a Sombra player as you do some of these attacks. Because when you think about Sombra, if you can hack one of those big health packs, she basically is offering a lot of the healing that a traditional support would.
That is
so
true.
It's not out of the realm of possibility that we see it.
There also is a good health pack positioned
Yes.
right inside the little hotel on
Yep.
the right side when you attack. So,
and having EMP up every fight, which you can if you are even a halfway decent Sombra player, is incredibly impactful. But
Lucio just takes a look.
unfortunately, you know, he's using Lucio sonar right now to see which heroes they have. Definitely going to hear that diva.
Yep. That's the thing, is that even if you can't see through the door, you can still hear the footsteps of the heroes inside.
And look at this.
I don't think so. Yeah, because
wow, are they going to go double sniper? So
we've seen this once or twice, but
you can do this on this point, and the reason why is it's very easy to set up a crossfire because there's so much easily accessible high ground. And what it does is it's going to push MVP Infinity back towards the gate, and that's where the tanks can really clean up. But
a Saya player having to worry about that Genji here, but getting some good options. Good opportunities to fire into MVP Infinity, and Meta Athena actually putting a lot of pressure onto Infinity right here.
Yep.
Why not? Finding his first pick with that Hanzo, or Libero rather, finding the pick onto Why Not. Oh wow, gets Breck to with the scatter arrow. He is in good shape there. Nano boost, meanwhile used onto Alpha. And this is going to be a little bit risky for MVP Infinity here.
And before everybody decides to take this, and this has been very effective.
Wow, that worked.
This strategy is unique to point A attack on King's Row, and the reason why is because with Widowmaker and Hanzo, you can have. It's very easy to set up on a high ground separately from each other, and the only place that the defending team can go is back towards the gate that Saya player is looking at right now, and then your tank line sets up on the point, so you have a beautiful crossfire if they try and contest. It is very difficult positionally to deal with that, especially if you don't know it's coming and you have nothing to dive the Hanzo and the Widowmaker.
Well, you notice too, they run right up into the enemy Reinhardt too, force him to drop his shield and swing, and then it's fair game for the snipers. Meanwhile, MVP Infinity fighting back here with a nano boost onto Breck. So they will stall out the payload for a moment.
Yeah, of course the change is going to come through. You know, the Saya player going to be moving on to the McCree right afterwards. You don't want to stick with Widowmaker. You know, we see plenty of teams stick with Hanzo throughout the entirety of King's Row. Lots of good places for scatter arrows, and you got long lines of sight. But two sniper not going to work, of course, because you can't really set up a crossfire where they are right now.
Well, who nearly has that Graviton Surge? Ready to go now, and they've got the Dragon Hole combo. Dragon Strike coming in on top of that Graviton Surge, probably in the near future here.
Oh, one fact actually gets up into the upper halls, so...
Being very annoying here. Oh boy, that's attack visor from behind. It's going to cause an immediate sound barrier to be used by Meta Athena. Here's the combo they're looking for. Libero throws it in. That's 3 with the Dragon Strike. Gets another
nice
one.
Flick.
Oh!
Beautiful, beautiful Hanzo play.
Wow.
The flick onto the Diva and the immediate 180 to pick up one fact. They dealt with that situation so well. It was a good setup from MVP. They had the Ana and the Soldier in that upper hall ready to use the tack visor, but the sound barrier came down instantly. But man, that was some gorgeous work on Hanzo.
That's not the ults. It's the kill on the mini Diva. It's the kill up in the enemy up in the window, man. Libero just on fire, and now Meta Athena fighting with Hoon. In point 3 already. They nearly got the payload there. Saya player can't find anyone with the Deadeye, but that's okay because he finds one with the headshots anyway. And it looks like Meta Athena is going to crush King's Row and beat MVP Infinity in this best of 5.
Now, the question we have to ask, Noah, is whether or not it was smart for MVP Infinity to try that long flank. Because when you commit that much time and positioning to that upper halls, and you obviously, you think you're going to get that big tack visor play, but they only had that one ultimate, and because they all got wiped right there, it really makes it hard to keep up any kind of defense moving forward. So a bit of a Hail Mary. Man, but holy moly, that was some beautiful Hanzo play from Libero.
No kidding. That was one of, I think, my favorite Hanzo highlights I've seen in a while. it was, obviously he was in position for the Dragon Strike, which was great, but just a follow-up, getting those other 2 kills. He killed 5 of the 6 team members there.
Well, just the communication, too, because he had to know where that tac visor was coming from, because remember, he couldn't see the soldier when that fight started. He was waiting for the Graviton Surge, so he figured it out very quickly.
Yep.
And makes that nice flick play back up to upper halls, and that's just going to win it right away for the team, so well done.
Yeah. It's a disappointing result for MVP Infinity as well. That's now 2 matches in a row that they've lost 2-3, and in a tournament where you only play 3 matches in the group stage, they're in a lot of trouble here, being a 0-2 in the group already.
Yeah, it's tough, but this is Group A and Group B in this tournament are both incredibly competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that they lost them 2-3 at least puts them as close as they could be game score-wise. So you never know. Maybe they can avoid promotions in the end, but we'll see. It's a rough start for MVP Infinity, and it's too bad because they seem like a genuinely talented team.
Yeah, just couldn't quite pull it out.
Yeah.
At least MVP Infinity did look much improved on some of these hybrid and escort maps compared to their performance against Envy.
Very true. In the end, Hoon Dokun, Hoon ults again. Living up to his name, the Libero, yeah.
I need to watch this some more.
I think I just want to watch this on repeat for a couple days now. This is going to be my weekend here.
Yeah,
I'm still not going to play Hanzo on the ladder, though.
I mean, there's so many particles, so I don't even think he just got the call was there where the soldier was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had to know. I mean, that soldier was free-firing into his team for a number of seconds, so he knew where he was. But it was good aim. It was good aim.
Great stuff.
Yep. Libero has good aim.
Definitely does. Yep. Can't argue that. So nicely done. And we got to see some very cool strategies. That first point Route 66 defense from MVP was very fun to watch and different. And we got to see the double sniper attack on Kings Row Point A. And
yeah,
worked very well also.
Great best of 5, and we're not done yet, guys. After the break, it's going to be an IEM Youngie Finals rematch. Luxury Watch Blue taking on Lunatic High. That is going to be a sick best of 5. That's finals quality material right there. Well, it has been a finals in a different tournament, so I don't have to prove it to you. It already has been a finals, so don't go anywhere because this next best of 5 is going to be sick here on OGN Apex Season 2. We'll be right back with another match right after this.
Coming up next, LW Blue, Lunatic High.